Jason is here.
Acolyte, Heavy. All right, Acolyte has a trailer coming out tomorrow. That's what we have learned. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and obviously today we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And Rob is playing Terrace Kasi. He's actually playing. He's not drawing like he says he is. He's just playing this game in the weirdest way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to own the leaderboards on the Force.net, Jason. Hold on, man.
Yeah,
I'll get
fuck
back
them.
to you.
And then Bespin, you wrote articles. You wrote an article.
I wrote 2 articles.
You wrote 2 articles.
I did. One was very low effort because I had to do the show. But yes, I did too. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see the second one, but yeah. So let's put that up on the screen, and then we'll talk about the article, about the information. All right. Oh, and before I forget, this show gets demonetized almost no matter what we do. So to become a channel member, that's the best way to support the show, because then it's like I know what the show is making every month, and we got to get the show into 4K. That bill's coming up, so hopefully we get some more channel members. That would help. But you can become a Patreon supporter, and
we're gonna go to 4K this show.
it's already in 4K. It's in 4K right now.
This show is in 4K.
Yeah, it is.
Bespin's icon and your sub 240p video and my 32-bit video game.
I'm in 4K, motherfucker. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm in 4K.
I think collectively we weigh 4K. You know,
I'm too real. Okay, in 4K.
You're too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
Call it Ghostbusters in their control. Yeah. What was that, Bespin?
I thought you were going to probably weight that and you were like, I'm too, like, I thought you were going to say like, you're like 200 pounds or something. Like,
no, 4K, dude. 4K, 4,000, bro. 4,000 pounds.
That would be a great wrestling name, wouldn't it? I'm 4K, right?
I mean, it's 4,000 pounds of pure Star Wars KFC love.
See what I'm saying? Like, that's a great name. 4K, 4,000 pounds of pure love. And he just wants to love you and hug you and sit on you and hold you. And, oh, man.
Right.
I like that Jason took it another way, though. It said full KFC.
Mm-hmm.
That's like...
All the KFC. That's how we could do it, boys, if we really put our minds together. Yep.
Get your 4K KFC, right?
Okay.
Like
so
let's talk about Acolyte. We got posters and stuff.
So this is from BespinBulletin.com, and you can support Bespin on Coffee, give him a coffee, or you could support him on Patreon. Those are the 2 ways, and you could support us on Patreon as well. And but you know, Bespin does the articles every day, so give him a love if you haven't before. It helps. All right, so this is the article he wrote today. If there's any typos in it, we're fucking gonna be mad about it, okay? Because this is a big day. This is our big day, dude. This is like the wedding invitation right now, and I've dreamt about this day my whole life.
The invitation. Who gives a shit about the wedding invitation?
Oh, dude, it's so important. That's how Costanza killed his wife.
Yeah, I know. Like, because he didn't give a shit about the wedding invitation.
Because he's a piece of shit. All right. First trailer for Star Wars The Acolyte to release tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. First poster released. Series releases June 4th. And then, so right here, we got what is that? Is that a bloody lightsaber?
It's blood, yeah.
Oh, is it because all of the ladies who made it are on their periods?
Jason.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Don't know.
I thought it's like lipstick, you know?
Okay.
Oh,
bad,
right.
Bad form.
Oh, okay. Okay. How about this one? I'd fuck me. I'd shit me. No? All right, I tried.
Nobody under Bespin's age is gonna know what that is.
Oh, come on. No, I'm sorry.
They will.
No fucking.
They will.
I wasn't alive when fucking Starsky and Hutch were on and all that bullshit. I know what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm young, so therefore I'm stupid. No, it doesn't count. You're watching a movie series from 1977. I can make the joke, and if you can't get it, that's on your dumbass. That's what I say.
People under my age would get it because it's a joke on Family Guy. Chris like redoes the scene.
There we go. It's a Family Guy scene now.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. All right.
Technically, everything's a Family Guy scene if you want to use that as an excuse. Bespin.
Simpsons did it. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we start off with updating. Lucasfilm have debuted the first poster for the highly anticipated live-action Star Wars series, The Acolyte, which revealed the release date of the series to be June 4th, 2024. In addition to the poster reveal, Lucasfilm have announced and confirmed that the long-awaited first trailer for the Leslie Headland created series will debut tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Well, what the fuck is GMT? What is that?
That's my time. So it's 3 p.m. for us British people.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm sorry, dude. You got to accept that.
Okay, America number one.
America number one. All right. In an age of light, beer, a darkness rises.
Oh no, not the rises thing again.
Oh yeah. Well, look at it, dude. It's like,
Oh, I'm worried. We just stop with rises.
okay.
Stop with it.
Somebody needs to change the lightsaber hilt to a tampon though. That would be funny.
Oh, is
Huh?
there? I heard the synopsis is on there, right?
I don't know. Yeah. This one
No,
right
no,
here?
no. It should be above the poster.
Above the poster, you say?
Yeah.
No, but hold on. I'll do a reload. There it is. In The Acolyte, an investigation into a shocking crime spree pits a respected Jedi Master, Li Jungjie, against a dangerous warrior from his past, Amandla Stenberg. As more clues emerge, they travel down a dark path where sinister forces reveal all is not what it seems. So this is saying like they're opposed to one another.
It sounds like it, but we know from like the past synopsises and even from like them at like Celebration, she still is former Padawan.
Yeah.
So, but it seems as if she might have already. You remember like we've talked about it before? You know those set photos, like she's with that like person we thought might be like a witch or like royalty. Remember?
Yeah.
That seems to be like God in her. Well, they probably are like bad guys, right? And they refer to Stenberg as a warrior, which is obviously what she and the rest of those people protect in that person are. So I just think
So you think post Padawan she becomes a mercenary?
yeah, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it looks like. Like that she's like protecting that person who looks evil.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where the Jedi go. That's where like Jungjai and Man Bun Chewbacca named Kalnaka show up.
Right.
So yeah, I think that, you know, we talked about it before, like if that's like the start of it, and I'd imagine so.
Right.
Like, but yeah. But she's already pieced out, you know. The rest of it you don't need to read because
this is this the original one? We'll just read the first part for totality of the whole thing.
Yeah.
The Acolyte, which is set during the High Republic era, will follow a former Padawan and her Jedi Master as they investigate a series of crimes.
Yeah, that's the original.
So that's what they originally said. And then in this one, in The Acolyte, an investigation into a shocking crime spree pits a respected Jedi Master against a dangerous warrior from his past. And it's very clear you didn't add Amandla Stenberg. That's in it, right? That's them. Yeah. Okay, just making sure. I figured that was the case, but yeah. So, So I guess when we saw the leaked trailer before, we were having essentially her doing assassinations, right? It looked like she was
attempting. Yeah.
It looked like she was trying to kill the Matrix while she was having some coffee or something.
Yeah,
right?
she's trying to kill Carrie. Like, yeah, through the trailer you see her like try multiple times to like fight her. With a little dagger, and she usually gets bested. So at least in the trailer, obviously, I think by the end she'll probably will succeed. But yeah, and again, she didn't have a lightsaber in the trailer. We know that she will get one. Like she does have a red one, I believe. So, yeah, we'll see that happen eventually.
Yeah, you totally never saw that, right?
No, definitely did not see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Acolyte trailer tomorrow, 8:00. That's the takeaway. What do you think? You think it's going to be a recut version of the Celebration trailer, or you think it's going to be something completely mostly wholly new and different? I know you
I
don't
think
know, just a guess.
I think it's gonna be a recut of what we saw last year
Yeah.
because they showed it multiple times, and we know they like to reuse stuff. So I think
Hmm.
it won't be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But but that trailer that we saw last year works really well as a first trailer, as
Hmm.
a teaser trailer.
Right.
So we're probably going to get one closer to the release of the series, so say like at the start of May or something,
Right.
and it'll tell us a bit more story details. It's the usual thing that they do, right? The first one is sort of a little bit vague, secrets, and then we get a one that informs us more of the story and the plot the next go out. Same thing
Right.
with the movies, right? Um, so yeah, I think it might be the first trailer, just that we saw last year, just with a bit more footage, offset shots, whatever it might be. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited if it is that one to actually see that stuff in not from a phone. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's the exciting thing. On one hand, though, if it is that trailer, it is going to be for the Star Wars fans who've already sought it out, such as myself. It will be a little bit like, okay, So I'm hoping it's mostly like new stuff, and then we get all that stuff in TV spots and stuff. But it
Yeah.
probably won't go that way. I agree with you. I think
Well,
that's
like when
that's
you
most
look at the
likely the situation.
when
Hmm.
you look at the celebration trailer, though, like obviously they would have, you know, fixed up some of the shots, the CGI, the visuals, or whatever.
Right.
But realistically, it's a good first teaser trailer. If that debuted in all its glory online last year in 4K,
Hmm.
like we would have said it's a pretty good teaser trailer
Yeah.
because it does what it sets out to do. It sort of builds the world, informs you of that you see the character trying to kill Carrie Moss throughout the trailer. You have the Jedi coming up against other forces. Tells you what the world we're living
Yeah.
in. So I think it's actually a good first teaser trailer. So if they do release it, I think it will be disappointing to us and everybody watching the show because we've all watched it, we've all seen it. In most of us in crap like you know shaky cam footage from Celebration.
Right.
I only ever got to see it once on the big screen. Like I can't remember that. I just remember the footage we look at on YouTube or something. Um,
You also have a different experience from me in the sense that when you have physically seen it on the screen
mhm.
and then you watch the phone cam, potato cam version, your brain knows what that image is going to look like what it looked like.
Yeah,
Whereas,
like
yeah,
like I said, when I watched it, like it looked good.
right.
Because like I turned to my friend like Pevy who was there and we talked about it and we were like, yeah, it looks great. And yeah, like I know Rob like has a issue with the final shot where it's all the Jedi like face on like with the lightsabers out. Like it's not a well like placed shot, but
No, no, no,
they
no, no,
they
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not like an issue I have. It's like a personal like whatever. My issue was that they sold it on like a bad guy show and it felt more like a good guy show with some bad guys in it. That's my problem with the trailer that we saw from Celebration.
well Stenberg is the lead of it, and she takes up a big chunk of that trailer. It's just to begin the voiceover from Jung Jai,
Like
right?
this
Who is
tone
Jedi.
here, a saber with blood is not the tone of that trailer. So
You,
that could just be a teaser trailer. It was just footage they cobbled together, right? And they're working on what that tone is,
mm,
right? Editing. That's why editing is the third pass on a film, or any product. So I'm not saying that it isn't possible. I'm just saying that tone right there is not the tone that I saw. I saw
Yeah.
more like a more serious Mando tone, but it still felt like a Mando, like you know, uh, Manhattan Beach style thing with a bunch of sabers. So I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. I've watched it a bunch of times. I don't get that Manhattan Beach thing. I think when we
no,
see
I
it
don't.
tomorrow, I think we'll be happier about it.
All right.
Most likely. I hope so. I mean, we'll see, right? Just 24 hours basically.
I'm excited for the show. I just want everyone to know I've been excited for the show. I just didn't love that footage we saw.
The perspective of the show, I'm pretty sure this is correct, is that the Jedi, hurt people. they're an institution, and being an institution, people get hurt along the way. Like down to the concept, like back to the Riva idea. You're bringing, kids away from their families, blah, blah, blah. And then, things don't necessarily go well. And so she's going to have, I believe, some kind of ideological difference with the Jedi, which is why she's not one, which is why it didn't work out. And then that animosity is probably what that blood on that lightsaber is supposed to mean, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's also, throughout that trailer we saw Celebration, actively trying to kill a Jedi.
Yes.
Like she's sneaking around towns, into like the cantinas, into temples, trying to kill Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah.
So,
and you can imagine like a Star Wars scenario where she just does something not nice. Like they could save these people, they could do this, and she just does the detached Jedi like move, and that does not do what she psychologically needed. And then therefore it has now fostered or festered this like animosity towards somebody she wants to kill. It could be like that simple. And if that was the case, if organically that person was to spring up, which it happens, like that does happen. People try to kill people of their own thing at times. They go weird, right? And that would be a good person for the Sith to try to recruit if it was going that way, or to manipulate into becoming that person.
From
right?
Daphne Keane, from when she was filming, like she did an interview and she said that like the Sith have already infiltrated the Jedi in the series. They're already in the council.
Right.
So Stenberg obviously isn't on it. Like she's departed. She's, we've seen in the Seth forward, she's protecting that woman or wherever it may be, and will then team up with Zhang Jai, and then also at the same time trying to kill Carrie-Anne Moss.
Right.
So there's another dark side user, a Sith, inside of the Jedi Council at that point.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're going to uncover. They're going to uncover that, right? It's going to be.
Does it have to mean that though? Or could it just mean through political influence, corporatocracy kind of stuff that they're using to infiltrate it in that way? Whereas, because like we see that the Jedi are sort of an extension of the state, and then like capitalism in the Phantom Menace, like they're like literally letting them do the Senate is allowing the blockade of Naboo to happen and those people to die, and the Jedi are like, well, our hands are tied, morality out the window because the Senate said so.
Well, there's a series of crimes, right? So I'm assuming there's going to be like murders. So
right.
I'm thinking there's somebody with a lightsaber who's probably a Jedi. That's probably how they're getting like clearance and security like into these places, like, murdering people. Right. Like that's how they're efficient at it. Yeah, I think there's probably like political stuff going on as well. Of course there is. Like we see, like the Nemodians and stuff in the trailer. Like, that's obviously going to be tied to like politics within the series. So I think it could be, not say operating on a Palpatine level, but you know what I mean, something Palpatine-esque. We don't.
Zhang Jai good?
I'd assume so. Zhang Jai, like I think, like I said, I think I saw him that he fights Stenberg, right? So I think Zhang Jai is likely good.
What if that's the twist, and he's the one who infiltrated the thing, and it was his acolyte the whole time, and we think that they're working against each other, but they're actually on the same side. What?
No? I don't know. It could be, but like, why you just send the guys coming to the crimes to investigate it? You know what I mean? Like he's probably, I don't know. It seems weird. Like I don't know who it would be, and obviously that's a good thing. Going into it like not knowing that. Maybe we will find out who is committing the crimes, like me and you specifically, as we get closer.
Yeah.
Through people talking, but we might. But again, they've added a layer of interest with the change in the synopsis. I think just changing the wording of Stenberg's character specifically.
Yeah, because at first they were like the thing that they were laying out led me to believe like, oh, they had a difference. She wasn't a Jedi. And then together they went to investigate the crimes. Like, and then I was like, maybe it was like a good cop, bad cop thing. And since she's not a Jedi, she could be bad cop, go outside, circumvent the rules or something like that. And then like kind of buddy cop kind of scenario. But then when you read that new synopsis, that lines up more with the trailer that we saw where she's just going around shaking people. So
because yeah, when you look at the first trailer, like there was that celebration. There's
yeah,
no shots really of her and Jung Jae together. You don't see her and Jung Jae investigating. You see
right,
her skulking around, sneaking around, trying to kill Carrie Ann Moss, whatever she's doing. But you see Jung Jae and like other Jedi
right.
likely investigating. You see him going up that big snowy mountain. You see him going through like streets. Like there's that again, like they said, they're being pitted against each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it adds a different layer to it. Like you said, I thought it was like you said, you know, a master and his former Padawan joining forces after some differences to investigate crimes because
Yeah.
maybe she's got a connection to the crimes that have taken place. That's why they have to link back up. But yeah, this adds a different layer to that now. So it's a new perspective of what this series is going to be.
Yeah, the new synopsis, I guess, also could potentially open up a plot line where she is doing this bad thing on her own independently, and then in the process of that, things open up and she learns about the conspiracy, and then maybe she kind of doesn't believe in the Jedi Order in totality because of some personal experience, but likes him still. And then, so maybe it's like an unlikely alliance for a time.
Well, maybe
Like,
we only like the only thing we see her actively going after in the trailer is Carrie Ann. We
yeah,
don't see her try to go after another Jedi.
right.
So maybe Carrie Ann Moss's character like murdered her family,
Mm-hmm.
or is responsible for the death of her family, and she
Yeah,
just wants to take action against her, a revenge story. But yeah, but we don't see her really get pitted against Jung Jae. Like I said, I think I've seen her like fight him.
yeah,
She has a red saber, he has a blue. Like she has a black outfit on, like which is different to what she wore in the trailer.
right.
But maybe it wasn't her. But like, there's no other character that I don't look through the IMDb list of cast members that it could have been.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I agree. I think it
mm,
was her.
yeah,
I remember at the time at first I wasn't convinced, and then you can I don't remember what you said now, but there was something about it where it was like it definitively was her,
mm-hmm,
but based off of the data that we had. Anyways.
yeah.
But James says, oh, and two things. James, thank you for being a channel member. And James also gave me the alert that this was going down today. So thank you, James.
Thanks, James.
Tans became a new channel member. So thank you for becoming a channel member, dude. That like totally helps. And I use dude, it does. You could be a man or a woman, be dude. Everybody's seen Good Burger. James says, if they go with Lucas's story, Sifo-Dyas was Palpatine's apprentice, and he was also on the Jedi Council. Does that line up with the final version of Lucas's story by the time we get to the Plagueis novel time though? Because that would be when Lucas gave the like final take on that stuff. And then I remember in Clone Wars we got this Sifo-Dyas setup, and we had that cool Close Encounters opening where they find his body finally. So I'd have to like go look back, but if you remember that stuff, set me straight, because there's so much Star Wars stuff now. It gets a little bit blurry on some of the minutia of that kind of things,
We just gotta go through what's canon now with Sifo-Dyas.
Yeah.
Like we can't just go off of Lucas's original idea, because we do see a lot of these creators now coming in. They want to tell their own story. Obviously, respect the canon that exists, and that's what the story group is there for. And they're a lot more involved in the shows, but I don't think we should go off of like Lucas's idea necessarily.
So James says that was in Paul Duncan's book that came out in 2022. So I would imagine then, yes, it would have to honor that. That would be part of that.
Is it too early for Sifo-Dyas though? Like if he's Palpatine's apprentice and this is like 100 years before the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's 50 years before, it's still,
even if it's 50, he's about the age. He's probably 40 to 50 years old, I would say, in the Clone Wars cartoon when we see him alive. So so he's basically probably a baby at this time, a little baby Sifo-Dyas.
If that,
yeah. Who is unfortunately just his name sound in the end, weird coincidence, just sounds like Sidious. Just a weird coincidence, guys.
Right. Real intention.
Yeah. No, trust me, it was all planned this way, Rob. George Lucas is a genius master planner, and don't question it. If you question it even at all, you're wrong. No, yeah, I mean that was when I remember the Attack of the Clones script leaked, and that was when his name was Sidodius. It was like I think it was Sidodius, right? It was something. It was very very on the nose. I like to think Lucas was like, I'll work this out later.
No. To be fair, it was either that or Puppy Tines, and
Puppy
so,
Tines.
I was writing a mystery, all right, and it's a mystery. I even wrote that script. I'm shocked.
Every time the Senate takes Palpatine before them to say, "Hey, are you the Sith Lord?" He's like, "If I was the Sith Lord and I'm Darth Sidious, would I make my name Sifo-Dyas when I? Come on.
Yeah,
This is a setup.
Yeah,
False flag operation.
Where did Jedi get all the money anyway? Where'd the money go? Where'd it go? I don't know. Who cares? Right? So,
Ray of Water says there were script leaks back then. When? Wow. Oh my God. Every single. So the the Phantom Menace script leaked. The first time I leaked that it leaked and I read it, it was via a Pepsi. It was a Pepsi person who had a copy of the script. Pepsi gave Lucasfilm a lot of money to make the Phantom Menace, have that deal with them, that from the special edition to the prequels, and they gave George Lucas a lot of money to direct the movies himself. So in doing so, they bought themselves into that level of they had the script. What else are you going to say? But yeah, every single script leaked before the movie. George Lucas's first, or I think it was his second draft, something like that. It was the one that was called Jar Jar's Great Adventure, which was actually pretty funny that's the one that leaked out to the internet as well. But yeah, during that time, I remember talking to somebody at Lucasfilm who was like, as The Force Awakens was on the horizon, who was like, oh yeah, the script for that's going to leak before. Like there's no way it's not going to leak. Like they were just like, it's going to happen. And it did kind of happen in a different way, but today they know how to keep scripts off the internet a lot better than they did in the early 90s. They had no idea. Like you used to be able to just go to like script sites and just find scripts around Hollywood and stuff. Today they come down on it so hard. But yeah, every single thing leaked from the prequel films. There wasn't anything that didn't leak. There was no surprise at all. And I enjoyed them. And I think I was prepared for what they were going to do and what they were going to be.
And Jason, somehow the kids who grew up with all those, right? They read this book. They just didn't care. They don't remember. But somehow they lived with it. Somehow the movies were fine, right? They survived.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Blah blah blah. So.
Yeah. I mean, I get like how people were like, oh, the trailers tell too much. Sometimes that can happen, or that used to be a problem, but it's not really a problem today. They know how to tease. They know how to tease stuff out in a trailer these days. So I don't get the whole spoiler phobia, but
what I hate the most is the fucking spoiler bitches on Twitter. The ones who scared of all the spoilers.
Yeah,
right?
I know. It's like, if you're that into it, don't participate in a fandom online. I mean, basically, at those points.
The ones I hate is so like typically what happens is, not even with Star Wars, but in general, you guys get like TV shows or something that is a bit earlier than us, like, or I guess a more reasonable time, right?
Right.
So something like last night, Kirby Enthusiasm made 3 a.m. for me, right? But it aired at like 9 for you or something, right? Which is again,
it comes on 7 p.m. my time.
Yeah. So in the UK, you wake up to spoilers, and it was the case for like House of the Dragon and Euphoria and whatever. And like, I know they're going to be there, so I don't go on Twitter right until I've seen it.
Yeah.
And you've got all these people who kick off and complain that there's spoilers, like if it's out there, but then once it's out, they spoil it for everybody else anyway. You know what I mean? Like they want consideration taken for them, even though like when we do a video or an article, the spoiler isn't in the title necessarily.
No,
like you have to read it, And if that gets spread online, don't blame me, like, necessarily. You can blame me for, like, putting stuff out, but if it's your friend that's putting it on your timeline, don't, blame your friend or whatever. I just think that, like, there's ways to, like, avoid spoilers these days. You can mute certain words, you can do whatever it is. Like Ghostbusters just obviously had a premiere last week, and I've seen people on Twitter saying that they've blocked anything to do with Ghostbusters so far, like on Twitter, because they don't want any spoilers.
Yeah.
And that's the smart way to go around it.
Yep.
Don't go on YouTube and click the certain videos or look at certain channels. Don't search the topic. Don't go on Twitter.
Don't come here. We'll probably spoil
Yeah.
Ghostbusters for you.
Yeah,
I know it says Making Star Wars, but the SEO search says also we spoil Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So just I hate that sort of stuff.
No, it's if especially if you avoid spoilers and then if you hate Star Wars generally and you avoid spoilers, what are you doing with your life? At that point, you might as well just read the spoilers. Might as well just engage and do whatever you want. But this show though, tomorrow we're gonna get the actual like first like real like here's what it feels like. The stuff that they were showing at Celebration was probably a little bit early. Some of it's probably been reshot. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of those shots from that trailer that are redone by this point, or a different take and stuff like that, So it's so like tomorrow it'll be like kind of, I think it's gonna be like somewhat old hat to the people who were at Celebration, but I think that it's probably gonna look better. So hopefully somebody gets something out of that too, But Ray of Water says, if memory serves well, didn't you leak the plot of The Force Awakens point for point when it still had the floating hand and the resistant super weapon? Yeah. What we had done was we took the shooting schedule and we put it into Excel, and then because they shoot things out of order, and then we sorted it by shot number. And then when I would read that, I had a pretty clear map and outline of the entire film. So that, along with actual like other leaks and the concept art and stuff like that, allowed for the whole thing to pretty much come out more or less. So, Star Wars Santa, make sure you follow Star Wars Santa on his show. He says Tuesday night releases. Ho ho ho. And then Joel, I just want to hit on this really quickly. With all due respect, I don't believe that Lucas thought he dropped the ball. And if he did initially, I'm 100% confident that he's proud of it now. Hey, all I can tell you is on Attack of the Clones, he felt like he dropped the ball. On Attack of the Clones, he felt like he fucked up. And then on Revenge of the Sith, that was his, I'm going to get it right. And the stuff he did in Revenge of the Sith, all the way down to the title being Revenge of the Sith, which was a fan guest title. It was a big fan fiction even. Before that was sold at cons that Lucasfilm used to like try to get taken down, by the way. And anyways, all of that put together is why Revenge of the Sith is what it is. And that's just what happened. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
You wouldn't clown the name Attack of the Clones on live TV.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones.
but that's not why he thinks he dropped the ball, Rob.
I know, but that's why I like to throw in there. If you think like it was like a universal praise fest, it wasn't. I mean, he came out at the MTV Awards and said it was going to have some great fight scenes. It was going to rival The Matrix. And
I mean,
then he came out and was like, it's going to have a great love story. It's going to be better than Titanic, blah, 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 blah. And we saw that went,
No, he did not say that. He did not say, he said,
he came out and said he was going to give us universal basic income. And he was,
no, he said he was going to
give us Medicare for all. And he didn't. I mean, Attack of the Clones dropped the ball.
It's going to be like a Titanic kind of thing. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Right. And
he didn't say it. He did not say it's going to be better. That was little Rob going, was somebody standing up against Cameron? Are you trying to step up, George? Because I'm a Cameron boy. I'm a Cameron boy.
You got knocked the fuck down, dude.
Well, he's like 5 foot. What do you want? Cameron's like a man's man, and George Lucas is eating Chinese food in the mall.
I want to see Lucas. I wish I had like a holodeck. We could make Lucas visit the set of The Abyss and see if he'll swim. Like, get down in there, George. I can't take my Starbucks. No.
I will say, I do think James Cameron could beat up most directors. Maybe not John Milius, probably all the way up to Milius, and then that's where he probably
Nobody
falls
beats
out.
Milius.
Nobody beats Night Psycho.
Since we're talking about the prequels, Jason, do you want to go to the other article?
Oh yeah. Oh, there's another article. Oh my God,
One from the weekend.
You fucking wrote 2 articles, dude. You
I
crazy,
know, man.
bro?
Yeah.
You fucking crazy, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
this is it's the Phantom Menace one, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Look at that. We did it. All right. Star Wars The Acolyte footage rumored to be attached to the Phantom Menace re-release. Original and prequel 4K theatrical re-releases rumored. And do you hit on it in the thing? But Cryptic 4K Qual, the cryptic quality guy, that's the person who, if I was going to credit anybody with getting this trailer stuff right, it was this person. They said the trailer is coming. It's imminent. And then after that, all of these fucking wannabe guessers started going, oh, it's going to be tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be tomorrow. Everybody, I got a feeling that the trailer is going to be tomorrow. Like they just did it every fucking day until yesterday. So whoever said it yesterday, you won the lottery. Run the guessing game off of
Jason,
Cryptic 4 Quality's work.
That was the most red letter you ever sounded. That voice you did.
Oh, that was kind of a what's his name? Plinkett. I kind of did a Plinkett.
Yeah,
I went full Plinkett. I'm sorry.
That was a good full Plinkett.
I own. Yeah.
I've got a character you can be one day. If Rob makes the art for it.
Right.
Jada Plinkett Smith.
All right, there we go. I got alopecia. All right. It feels like
you want to get us slapped right on the show live, Bespin. Is that what you're trying to do?
We'd get more views.
We're good. Will Smith will come through the internet and slap.
Dude,
us
all I have to do is fucking wink at Jada, and she was like, she'll lay up her hand, and Will's fist will come down. You know what I mean? Just have to give her the wink. All right. It feels like with each pass. This is from bestmanbulletin.com. It feels like with each
Saturday, by the way. This is so like obviously the trailer. We know what's coming now. So.
Yeah, based off some insider you are. It feels like with each passing day, there's some ex-user podcaster you literally start the article with it. Okay. Sorry. Did not mean to. They'll just have to listen to it again. Podcaster or general fan claiming we're about to get the highly anticipated trailer for the upcoming High Republic era live action Star Wars Disney Plus series, The Acolyte. That was a mouthful. Lucasfilm and Disney have stayed mum on the topic, as you'd expect, and no reliable outlet or insider has made claim to when a trailer the Leslie Headland created show will finally appear online officially. I heard that that's where Kate Middleton is. I heard that that she's cutting it herself. Like she's involved.
Yeah, the CGI work's going to be pretty bad.
Well, that's why she was messing around with the Photoshop, because she's like, getting some shit going. So
She's got to edit for Lucasfilm now. Yeah.
No, she's come a long way though.
What if you say all that and then it turns out to be true and you're like, oh shit.
She did the Bye Bye Girl masterclass, so she's ready. Okay, earlier this week, the ex-user Cryptic 4K Quality shared that a trailer for The Acolyte was being prepared and that episode runtimes for the series run from 30 to 45 minutes. So 30 to 45 minute episodes. So everybody, when Star Wars Theory guesses that every show is an hour and 20 minutes, if you decide to go with it, that's on you, because he's literally telling you they're 30 to 45 minutes. And once again, every episode is always going to be around that. Like it's always going to be like a 44 minute like target. Some will be like in the 30 and some might be an hour. But that's generally going to be like the runtime. Every single show we have to go back to the start of that. It's weird. But anyways, Cryptic has become a great source of runtime and trailer news for various film and TV projects over the past couple of years. Yeah, I don't know of anybody better right now that I could think of off the top of my head.
Me.
For that stuff? You?
Yeah, because I make everything up. So I got tons of info.
Yeah, no, he's right. He's correct, though. He's correct.
Oh. Okay.
Cryptic 4K Quality, sharing accurate runtimes for Star Wars series such as Ahsoka, Andor, and The Mandalorian before they air. It's likely the X-posts from earlier by Cryptic are what ramped up and spurred the speculation from fans regarding the Acolyte trailer. 100% was. The Acolyte is rumored to be released on the 5th of June. So, of course, a trailer is coming. That's wrong. The rumor was completely wrong, because it's the 4th. And in my opinion, who was it who said it? It wasn't Deadline.
Collider.
It was Collider. when a Collider was saying that, I bet you they're going to be right, because I bet you it's going to come out like 7 p.m. the day before.
Yeah.
And they will technically be correct. Like that's my guess.
They'd be technically correct just off of like different countries. If it's 7 p.m. for you guys, it'd be like 3 a.m. for me.
Right.
So they would have been right for Britain, at least.
Which is a great argument to never be late. Like I was telling you the time in Cardiff. What?
Mm-hmm.
All right. However, Cryptic has returned with a Star Wars update today that relates to the Acolyte. According to the X user, Lucasfilm and Disney are currently preparing some Star Wars content, and that marketing for said content will begin this month of March. Man, that was pretty formal of you. Like this month of March.
Mm-hmm.
The post from Cryptic came in the form of a quote post from another X user, Feature First, who claimed, now this is the interesting thing, who claimed both the original and prequel trilogy would be receiving 4K restorations that would play in theaters this May. So two things about that I just find like weird, or it's a kind of a mystery to me. Like the 4K restorations already happened a long time ago. They're what's on Disney Plus. So are they redoing it, or is it just that the 4K restorations from Disney Plus are showing up in the theater now? Because that makes the most sense to me.
I think it's that one.
Yeah.
There was no other details, but I would assume it's just that.
Right.
Like it's just 4K. The 4K restorations already exist, just playing in theater. Because we're going into. I texted you about this earlier, but we're going into a position now where because it's a light year for movies. A lot of studios are just dropping their old films back in the cinema. So today we got the announcement that Sony are re-releasing all 8 Spider-Man movies into theaters. Interstellar's going back in theaters in November. And where else was it? Like Shrek is going back in April. So
I watched Shrek the other day, and it looks like shit. They should
visually, yeah. They should just
the animation.
They should just redo the whole thing, dude.
A fan could do it better than it looks like in that movie. You know, we've come so far. I think they should.
Hey, look, I was saying the same thing about The Incredibles. You know, rather than The Incredibles 2 was not the greatest film. It had some good moments, but I was like, honestly, man, they would be better served, like just the same movie, but just with all their current lighting tech. It's one of the few things with animation. I'm like, you could really improve this stuff, and I think there'd be money there for that, especially for Shrek 1.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But all these like studios are just re-releasing like films back in theaters. So I assume it would just be the Disney Plus restorations just in theaters now.
So as a true it looks like Azatru is kind of confirming it. Someone I know showed me the other day they have all 6 back in the biggest Australian IMAX screen on May 3rd with The Phantom Menace. I don't know if that's actually a confirmation, but that is right. It's happening somewhere in Australia. So there is that scoop is correct somewhere in the world, right? The question ends up being, is it going to be globally or not, I think. And the big question I have about the reason why I keep honing in on that 4K remaster is, does that mean, because that could mean that we could get Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith in 3D. If that's why were doing remasters, it might be because they're actually like messing with that to release that officially. They never actually got to do it. I've seen them both. I saw Attack of the Clones in an actual theater in Marin County, and it was pretty good. Revenge of the Sith is the coolest one because they actually did a lot more work visually. They like made Anakin's face like 3D, so his eyes sink in. So like the 3D actually like is enhanced. It's actually like a 3D movie in a way. But I've never got to see Revenge of the Sith in a good theater. I saw it at Celebration, and it was the worst way you ever could have seen it. On that front.
I don't think they're going to have any of the 3D stuff with this. I think it's just I
don't think so either.
It's just the Disney Plus restorations forever. But next year is obviously 20 years since Revenge of the Sith released. So I think they'll do something with Revenge of the Sith next year.
Right.
It could be that they do the 3D release next year or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I will say if they don't do it this time, I just don't know what's the fucking issue. Like what I mean? It's weird. It's weird on that front. And I would I mean, in a perfect world, this will never happen until 3D gets its next renaissance. But I would love if they had done the original trilogy in 3D, because then it would be nice just to have all 9 in 3D. Like that would be that would be fun. And then you have these fucking like the Oculus Quest 3. You have that Apple headset. Like there's ways people could consume this stuff, but it looks like nobody wants to be risky right now. So I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be 3D either. I just want it to be. I'm just hoping it is, All right. So, did I finish this top paragraph? However, Cryptic has returned with a Star Wars update. Blah, blah, blah. Lucasfilm. I already read that, right? The details shared from Cryptic seem to point towards the aforementioned trilogies being re-released. But Cryptic simply referred to Star Wars content being prepared for Lucasfilm and didn't get specific. You could say they were being cryptic. Anyhow, Cryptic did add that an exclusive look at the Acolyte will be paired with the already announced re-release of The Phantom Menace, which returns to theaters in May to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the iconic film. Lucasfilm previously did something similar to the re-release of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, which saw Andor footage attached to the theatrical re-release. The X-user did not share any details as to when fans could expect to see a trailer for the Acolyte, but I can't help but wonder if the Star Wars marketing they mentioned due to begin this month encompasses not just the trilogy 4K releases, but the Acolyte 2. We are just 3 months away from the release of that series after all. I shouldn't have to say it, but I can already see the X replies to this post. The footage attached to the Phantom Menace will not be when you get the first trailer. You'll get that trailer much earlier than Acolyte. This thing is separate. So Lucasfilm debuted a trailer for Acolyte in April of last year at Star Wars Celebration in London. The trailer was only shown to those in attendance, and the trailer shown at the event has not been released online. Anticipation for the series has swelled this month, and it feels as if I'm bombarded with questions on a trailer released daily at this point, whether that's just from fans being excited or because some social media user has teased that they know when the trailer will arrive. I'm excited for the Acolyte, and I was fortunate enough to be in attendance at the Lucasfilm Showcase 11 months ago when the trailer debuted, and to me it looked great. Personally, I'd expect to see a trailer later this month, if not earlier next, but this isn't based off of any insider info. In the words of Finn, it's a feeling. The Acolyte, which is set during the High Republic, and then this is just the old thing. Okay, and then you could support Bespin on Coffee right here and on Patreon, right? Those are the places to do it. They say
those be the places.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, it'll be kind of cool. I mean, to go and see Star Wars movies again. Like my kids haven't seen a lot of them. My kids saw the sequel trilogy films, and then they never. I don't think they've really seen the other ones in the theater. So that's something that we can do. I don't know if they'll want to or not. I don't know if they're going to see the importance of it. So I haven't talked to them about it. So I'm curious as to how that goes, because a part of me does want to go and see them all again. I think it would be fun. Another part of me though is kind of like, yeah, but I would rather go see it. Wait until there's a new Star Wars movie. I've already seen those ones, and so I don't know if I'm super in or not. I might feel differently as we get closer to it. Like doing one movie, like just going and seeing the Phantom Menace, like I'll do that. But I don't know if I'm gonna go see all of them. I don't know if
all come out at the same time, pretty much as well.
Yeah,
I'm just looking forward to see those millions and millions of dollars they're gonna make. All those fans are gonna rush out, right? The ones that are telling me they grew up with it, it's their trilogy. They're all gonna go out and support. And they're all gonna support the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies when they come out. They're just gonna break the box office with it. I know it's gonna happen, Jason.
Well,
I believe it.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not really saying that. The Star Wars thing
will not stop, Jason. They will not stop.
They haven't. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they do in the era of streaming, because that's like the whole like conundrum is that you like to go to the movies for the communal experience, like seeing a scary film, a horror film with a packed audience, like reacting to it. It can be like the most fun thing ever. But also these are movies that everybody has seen that you can see in 4K at home. So it's kind of a weird one. I
also think they shouldn't have just done all of them in one weekend. I think it should have been one. It should have just been the Phantom
Smarter
Menace.
move. Yeah.
Like you're now checking out 6 movies in a weekend. Like they're not gonna make that much money. They wouldn't have made much money anyway. But like, I don't know. Like it's like the Sony Spider-Man.
And remember, folks, don't take my word for it, because I'm a grumpy old prequel guy. Bespin knows how to accurately predict box office. It's been proven time and time again.
You've really got like a hard on for this, haven't you? This is like
What?
really
No, I'm being serious.
stuff
You just
with
can't tell. You
It's a little
can't tell when I'm
salty,
being
Rob.
sarcastic.
It's a little salty,
Look,
Rob.
Look,
I
I grew
said
up
it,
with
Jay
kids
said
in
it,
the hall,
Husker
so you
said
need
it.
to understand. I don't have a very good, sarcasm, non-sarcasm voice. In the same way that Bespin never laughs. Like, doesn't matter what I send. I sent him this Yoda thing
laugh.
I thought that got a laugh out of you, right, Bespin? Did the Yoda thing make you chuckle? No? No. Okay. No, he has no soul. But he does accurately predict.
He's dead inside.
Box office. Yeah, he's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, what do you think? Just the Phantom Menace will make.
I have no clue with those re-releases. I
Yeah.
can tell you like new films.
Yeah.
But,
Tell us. Tell us now.
No, tell us the re-release. 7 million, 70 million. Which is it?
Yeah. What is it?
What did the fucking Return of the Jedi make? Does anybody know? On this like weekend?
It didn't even come out here, so I don't think. Anyways, it was barely a thing. It was barely a thing.
I'm saying
So,
under 10 million.
Like
How about that?
it didn't
Under 10
it
mil.
it didn't get like a real proper release. So Return of the Jedi wouldn't be a good one, actually. For that, you know what I mean? You could see screenings of
I
it.
don't know.
but
I don't think they make Dune re-release money, which was like 30 million.
No.
So
the Phantom Menace 3D would have been something closer to Dune money if it was even possible, right? And it'll do better than the 3D re-release, I think, is my prediction. But I don't think it'll be.
I remember going to the Phantom Menace 3D re-release. It was just me and my friend in an empty like theater.
Really?
Yeah.
I went. I
3D, and
I went
see the movie, but in 2D. Like, yeah, sure.
I went to the midnight and it was packed, completely in orange, completely sold out. No. But there's a follow up to this, and then I went the very next day with another friend. Like it was like Thursday night or something. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was like Thursday night. We went midnight, packed. Friday night, I go with a friend to see it because he's like, oh, I wanted to go. Like let's go. We go. We're the only ones in the theater on the Friday night. Yeah. So it was like all the fans showed up to the midnight thing, and I was glad I got that experience. I got the thing, but yeah, it was completely like dead. And that one had it was a different time on that one though too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it was like 2012, I think.
And they were getting it was 2012, I think 2011, 2012. It was 12, and then they were 3D was dying right then too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got their movies into 3D as Clash of the Titans that kind of murdered 3D?
Yeah,
like that was the one
done for like
$1
million in India overnight, dude.
Yeah, yeah, and people were fed up.
The dude from Avatar, so it didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a real shame because I know people go, "Oh, only Avatar is great," but that's not true. The Coraline 3D re-release was brilliant. If you've never seen Coraline in 3D, it was really excellent. Fury Road was a fantastic 3D release. The first Spider-Verse had a 3D conversion. Most people haven't seen. It's freaking brilliant.
I got to see Spider-Verse early, and I saw it in 3D.
It's great, right?
It was great. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I was really bummed the sequel didn't have a 3D re-release. The Top Gun 3D is actually really good. Even if you like Top Gun, it's excellent. It's fantastic. Obviously, Titanic's 3D is quite brilliant. So, I mean, I have and a lot of the Marvel 3D conversions are actually pretty good. Like, I think people sit on those. They don't think about it, but there's some. I mean, Thor's not the greatest film, but it has a great score, and the 3D is actually pretty good. The first Thor movie,
people just hate 3D now though because they got burned so
many
times.
They like to see in stereoscopic vision, and they want to play VR, but they don't want to watch their TV.
Do they want to play VR though? I want them to want to play VR, but I don't think they do. I think it's so. You know what I mean? Though it's like people don't like this thing on their face. I think.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Patrick Boyle has been a channel member for 2 years. So thank you, Patrick Boyle. Thank you for being a channel for 2 years. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate
Given
it.
that Avatar 2 made most of its money in the 3D screenings, yeah, they're willing to watch 3D films. I don't believe it. You just got to make it an event, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Got to make it an event. And immersion matters. I mean, not just in 3D, but I saw Ford v Ferrari in that Screen X where like it wraps the screen around you, right? For like the driving sequences and stuff. And I mean, that was pretty dope format. You know, that was pretty cool actually. Like, and I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna like this, but I mean, a horror film done in like that kind of immersion, right, where jump scares come left or right, or aliens or something, would be amazing. Like, so immersion always makes a movie better, right? Like, it's but bad 3D, like anything else, like bad sound is bad immersion. And nothing worse than when you're trying to watch a movie, you can't hear no one talk, right? Tenet.
In the new Alien movie, an alien pops out of somebody's asshole.
Oh yeah.
And
I can't.
I can't. I can't for the life of me not imagine it not looking like when the blonde guy in Dumb and Dumber takes the shit. I just can't imagine how that comes off not hilarious. And it just sounds funny to me. I just can't, in my mind, cannot make it scary when the alien pops out the butthole. It's always funny to me. Like if that's really going to happen. Anyways, Ray Water says, I saw the 3D release of The Phantom Menace just to say I've seen all the post OT movies, and because I didn't think there would be new movies. Meanwhile, that October, yeah. I honestly think that it to some degree too, that underperforming the way that it did had a little bit to do with George Lucas going like, fuck all these people, I'm getting out of here.
You don't have a bigger fan of 3D than me, except for maybe James Cameron. And
well, before you were the biggest fan of the Acolyte. Remember when you said that?
Until I saw the footage and I was like, but
it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
I haven't seen the official trailer, so we can't say it. But the pod race was the thing I was looking forward to the most in 3D, and it just wasn't there.
Yeah, they wanted to redo it. Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, much better, and but they never did it, so it doesn't matter. Joel says, Jason, I'm kind of curious. Do you think it's possible that the people you talked to about clones were just projecting their own feelings onto projecting their own feelings, and Lucas were wrong? No. Lucas literally said, "I dropped the ball." Like, that's a direct quote. That's him saying that to them. Like, it's no. I'm sorry, Joel. He thinks he fucked the movie up. The movie was experimental. It was using digital cameras. It was trying to do everything much more in CGI than the Phantom Menace did, and on
like 99.9% digital sets. You know?
And on top of that, he was trying to marry this like high romance kind of style that he kind of made up based off of this other thing, and it's just like, and then he saw the movie and he was like, oh no, you know, he's one of those. He's from that auteur generation of like when, you know, the picture falls off the wall. Oh no, you keep it in the movie and make it into a plot point because it's fate. And like they have all these like stupid ideas.
Trooper hits his head on the door.
Yeah, well, I don't think they even noticed on that. But that's how lazy it was. But with that kind of stuff, like the magic's gonna happen. Like we haven't written the fucking solo on the song, but when we're there, Rob's gonna fucking 2-hand tap that shit, and it's just gonna come together. Like that's how they got shit done. And he was hoping, I think, for that aha moment that would just tie it all together. And I don't think he got it. I think that's just kind of what it ended up being on that movie. And the guy made fucking 6 Star Wars films. You think he's going to make 6 Star Wars films and he thinks he's just getting better with every one? No, you're going to drop some. Some aren't going to be as good, you know? I mean, like for the Beatles, not every song is I Want to Hold Your Hand. You know what I mean? Some of them are just songs. And so that's what happened. I mean, and you could even just go in and with what I've told you now, go look at Lucas talking about Revenge of the Sith and what it's going to be and how he's talking about it. And you could really see it. So the people that I've heard this from aren't some like, oh, I was removing the shadows from C-3PO's fucking reflections. And it's not that.
Coleman. Yeah, it was Rob Coleman.
That would unfortunately was probably a person in a trailer out in the parking lot working for practically minimum wage, but when you take in the cost of living in San Francisco, unfortunately, yeah.
Well, no, it was just punishment for being Rob Coleman. Every now and then Lucas would fuck with them, just make them do some stupid shit, just keep them in check.
This could be a good like trailer week though. Like with well, first things first, guys. Right today, Zack Snyder dropped the trailer for Rebel Moon Part 2, the Scargiver. Right, so we got to start there, right? Right. But no, we're gonna get the Acolyte trailer tomorrow, obviously. But there's also rumors that this week we're gonna get the Beetlejuice 2 trailer, the Alien Romulus trailer, Dune Prophecy, which is the HBO series, and a House of the Dragon trailer. So it could be a big trailer week. And then, and then obviously at the end of the week you have Ghostbusters going into theaters too. So it's like could be a pretty decent week for us.
Yeah. I'm going to see Ghostbusters Thursday night. I'm pretty excited about it.
Mine's at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Jason.
Oh, nice.
The first showing.
Damn.
I have not bought tickets because, in the words of Azatru, I'm not 40.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be able to just go see it.
I'll be fine.
And you can't eat right now,
yeah.
so it would be irresponsible to buy tickets if you can't afford food.
Right? True.
Right.
I just don't need to book it. Like I just rock up. Same thing with the Sydney Sweeney movie.
You will find Bespin outside the theater panhandling for popcorn. So if you have any leftover eats and treats, just be sure to hand it to Bespin on your way out of Ghostbusters.
I never actually have popcorn when I go to the cinema. It's too expensive.
You're gonna take what you get now, buddy. All right.
I just go. I'll watch the movie and then I'll go to McDonald's afterwards.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, based off of how this year in 2024, it's a bad year for movies in a way. Like they're not doing the theaters aren't doing terrible considering at this point, but the amount of content hitting the theaters is kind of spaced out. It's a little sparse this year.
Summer particularly is not great. Like I think July is bad.
We got a summer drought, a summer movie drought. And do you think the answer for these companies is to re-release their classic films? Or do you think that a better answer would have been to like release the TV shows in the theater? Like would Mando's first 4 episodes in a block, like let's just say they did like Mando Part 1, Season 1, Part 1, Part 2, 4 episodes. You could go buy the 1 ticket, see all 4 episodes, and then in the end, watch all of Mando in the theater. Would that have been a more lucrative or fun thing, you think, for fans? Or do you think the films belong in the theater and that was the right call?
I don't think they would have made the money if they did like Mando's just in there. Unless it was like, as Mando was airing. So if there was... So the Acolyte, for example, if they were saying, okay, you can watch it at home, but on the day of the finale, you can go and pay to watch it in the theater. You know, I think something like that would work. Same thing with like other shows like House of the Dragon or wherever it might be. But I think putting in old TV shows, because I think people will just say that we haven't. You look at the Pixar re-releases, Turning Red, made 500,000 like that weekend that re-released. Nobody went because they have it at home. It's on Disney Plus.
But we also saw one of those HBO shows I don't watch. I think I can't remember which one it was. I think I sent you the article, and it was kind of making money though, for like what it was. Like people were willing to go see some shows.
There isn't enough in Mando right now, cinematically or character-wise, to get people to go out and see it. It just doesn't have a great love story. Doesn't have a great cinematic moment. Just has like member berries, and I don't think that's going to be enough at this point.
And I think
to go and spend the.
But
I mean, gotta remember, my buddy took his kids to see Kung Fu Panda and dropped $180 on 4 people. So like
sucker. You got to go to Dollar Tree and sneak everything into your kids' pockets, dummy. Tell him to call me. I have a lot of smuggling. I'm like the Han Solo of this. I could really get him. I could really get him down to probably like $92 if he wants to work with me. He could have my number.
I don't think that's gonna help much.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Jason knows how to hide those nachos in his pants. Don't.
Oh no! What you do is you go to 7-Eleven, and then you take the chip bag out, right? There's like the chip bag, and from the nachos, and you remove that, right? But then you put a little Tupperware into the thing, and you fill the hot cheese up into there. You close it into the Tupperware, and then when you go to the movies, it'll still be warm.
I just put the Pringles can down my pants and give everyone the wink.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring that Dune popcorn bucket to Beetlejuice because it seems appropriate.
They got the fever for the flavor.
They should re-release. They should just release Sydney Sweeney movies in 3D.
Yeah,
that's what they should do.
Yeah. They should just make a Sydney Sweeney 3D Oculus app. I would buy it. Like, what's Sydney Sweeney doing today? Oh, she's cooking. That's interesting. So, anyways,
you looking forward to this week then, with all the stuff coming out, to possibly Beetlejuice and
it's gonna be a fun week.
The Acolyte, Alien, Ghostbusters, the Sydney Sweeney movie.
Yeah. I'm seeing that. I think I'm going to see that on Saturday or Sunday now. I planned on going like the Friday, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I think I'm doing Thursday. I'm doing Ghostbusters, and then sometime during the weekend, I'm doing Sydney Sweeney as a nun. This pertains to my interest. But no, we actually have heard that it's a really, really great movie.
Yeah, one of my friends saw it and he really liked it. He gave it a 9, which I think is probably, overhyping it. But he's a big horror fan, and says a lot of the horror movies he's seen this year are shit, specifically Imaginary.
Right.
So, it could be decent.
Last
kind
night,
of programming for Ghostbusters, right? Like, you got a family movie, that you got like Sydney Sweeney.
Ghostbusters should maybe kind of. I mean, there's nothing on the tracking that makes it seem like the Sydney Sweeney one's going to be a phenomenal like hit or anything like that. But it could happen. I mean, that is like the biggest like threat to Ghostbusters is, for whatever reason, that one just takes off. I don't think it'll happen, but if it did, it would destroy the Ghostbusters box office probably.
Do you think Kung Fu Panda is a threat to Ghostbusters? Because it only like dropped out of 31 million this weekend. And Ghostbusters is only projected to make like between 30 to 39.
Yeah.
Like
maybe I don't know. It's like there's the overlap of the family movie. There's the overlap of it being a comedy. But so, and then Ghostbusters, it being horror, kind of kicks some children out of the thing immediately. Their parents think they can't take it, or they can't, whichever. And so, but they are so different, and I know I'm not the Kung Fu Panda demographic. So the fact that it's making money at all is to me, it's like, really? Oh, okay. Whereas if you had asked me, they're making Kung Fu Panda 4, is it going to make money? It just off the top of my head, I said, probably not, but it clearly is. And
it's
another generation's nostalgia. So,
it's looking to do between 650 when all said and done.
Is it actually good? I mean, for like, is it delivering what the Panda fans expected?
I don't know. Like, I don't know any Kung Fu Panda fans. But from what I've seen, it's considered good. I think families are enjoying it. Like, even ones who didn't obviously see the other Kung Fu Panda movies, but it's one of the weaker Kung Fu Panda movies.
Right.
But it's it's working. It's making money. So like, it's gonna do just as well as Wonka did, probably.
Yeah. And we also saw that parents were, with those Disney releases like Elemental and stuff, as long as they were able to go to the theater and see it, they did eventually kind of go, right? That's kind of what we saw. Like, over time, they did end up like kind of trickling in some of that box office.
With Elemental, it was different because it was like, it came out and it was a dud. Like, it looked like it was gonna bomb, but like there was no other like big like family movie to see over the mad summer we had, because we had like Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones, Transformers, Barbie, Oppenheimer, all that stuff. So it was the only like kids thing to see after Spider-Verse.
Right.
So like it had legs. It like, and that wasn't even that good of a movie. But I don't know. Kung Fu Panda has that now. I suppose, like, there's no big other kids movie coming out soon. Inside Out 2 is probably the next one, right? Which is in June. So,
and we have every indication seems to be that the Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, is pulling really, really hard on the old real Ghostbusters cartoon, which seems like an attempt to make it kid friendly to grow the franchise. Is kind of, that's what I'm reading. That's what I think they're saying. If I'm understanding the message that they are encoding, if I'm decoding that message correctly, that's what they're saying. And so, you know, does it end up being a good movie for families and kids because of that, or not? That's like kind of like the big question, I think. But I don't know. Because Kung Fu Panda, though, it seems like a kind of an easier accessible film, because there's people that are like, don't want to see a movie, like, I'll just watch the fucking cartoon. Yeah, I'll watch Kung Fu Panda. There's people that are like that. So I still think Kung Fu Panda is going to beat Ghostbusters in the box office either way. Like,
oh yeah,
it's probably going to
do like triple Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
does. But like,
right.
I don't know. Like, we know, like, you know, we watched that video of Greg Miller talking about seeing it, and he said it seems to skew more for families. They're trying to bring in a younger audience. It's just like, I just don't know if they will. I just don't know if they've done.
And he also said it was scary. It was like actually like a frightening one, which was nice.
Yeah,
So,
I just don't know if they've done enough work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for like a younger generation.
Yeah.
I would wish that they would, you know, but even like I keep seeing the trailers here. I'm just like, I don't know how this appeals necessarily to a kid, because like they keep showing specifically like Bill Murray and stuff.
Right.
You know, like I don't know, like I it's a harder to gauge. Like somebody like Asdru isn't going to see it, right? He said like he's out. You know what I mean? That's why he made the joke of like he's not 40 years old. Because anybody who knows who watches it.
But considering what he likes,
live down making that joke.
But that's the thing about old Asatru, is I think he should give the Ghostbusters thing a second go, considering he loves Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I mean, it's kind of the other one. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, and Back to the Future. That's kind of for the 80s movies and that whole thing. It's like you would think he would love it, but he's not 40 years old, so.
Yeah, like I'll be like, I don't know. It's like when we went to see Indiana Jones, it's all like people over 40, pretty much. You know, as Drew said, he was the youngest in his theater. When I went, I was definitely one of the youngest of mine. You know, and obviously that's reflective in its like.
When I went,
right?
I was still the old guy. There just wasn't a lot of people there. It was only right. I think young people. From memory, I think it was only young people, but there wasn't a lot. So yeah, like just like old people didn't show up for it. That was, I think, its problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I'm gonna see it. I like Ghostbusters. You know, I'm not Asdru. I just think it'll be fine. I think I said all I want it to be is a good, fun movie, solid 7 out of 10 type, and I'll be happy with it. I just want it to be fun. You know, the last one was decent. I don't really like the third act, and then yeah. So
how could you?
They should have made Harold Ramis as he was. Make him a chubby man. You know, it wasn't real. You know, show him as he was.
You're the only one saying that, Bestman.
They should have done it. You know, putting in Dan Aykroyd isn't in great shape.
For a man who wants hair so much, you know what I mean? Come on, who wants to be remembered? No. Nobody.
You're kind of like the Lizzo of nerds.
I'm Lizzo of nerds. Don't give me that fucking title, man. That's not good. That's not a good title. You know.
Oh, sorry.
Jason said that. I didn't say that. I never said that.
No, but like, come on, be real. You know, show him in all his glory. Don't show me the perfect version.
Well, all right. So when we get to that this Acolyte thing, before we go, it's like this is either like a really, really exciting beginning of a whole new thing, or it's or it's just going to be pathetic and like really, really sad for Star Wars. Because if this does connect, if the Acolyte is good, if it's a quality show, and if audiences watch it, considering when it takes place and what it's about and stuff like that, I do think that we're likely to see the future where the Mandalorian does 3 films on screen. If all of Lucasfilm's dreams come true, my guess would be 3 Mandalorian films, no Mandalorian really on TV for a while, if anytime soon. And then we see all of that era phase out as those people become filmmakers, as Favreau and Filoni concentrate on live action filmmaking, not television shows. And then I imagine the Acolyte spins off into other shows around the era, because I mean, you have an era where the Jedi are the Jedi. You could have a show where Jedi do Jedi things all the time, and then parallel to that, you have the other show where the Sith are dismantling that and getting to the movies. But there's a lot of potential there, and the series and the era is not like sandwiched. It doesn't have to like, oh, and then tomorrow the Clone Wars happen and everything gets erased. Like there's nothing like that that's going to happen in the show. They have to like live in the Star Wars universe in the era. And it's at that specific point in time when it's like the prequels look is there, but you could also go to backwater planets that look like the original trilogy. So they could kind of have their cake and eat it too in a lot of ways with this show. They could have battle droids and do whatever they want because it's before that shit. So I think it's a huge opportunity that might be like, this is the new era of Star Wars. It could be huge. It could be rad. But I might be putting too much on it,
Yeah, I'm curious what happens next year though.
Yeah.
Because there's no other Star Wars show going into production.
Not that we know of.
Like the only other candidate is likely Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
So unless Ahsoka goes into
and
film
is that even
thing,
next year?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because what you're looking at the moment is just Acolyte now in June, Skeleton Crew in November, Andor in like February-ish time, early next year, and then nothing. We don't know anything else that's happening. Like, and if Acolyte doesn't perform well, right, then we might not get more Acolyte. And Skeleton Crew, I don't know. Like, so we're in a really weird space with Mando taking the jump from TV to the big screen. Like, it might leave a hole on Disney Plus, and Acolyte could definitely fill it. And like the idea of it, like, is interesting enough to do so.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't connect, if it doesn't do well, like I wonder what happens. Like we know what Marvel's gotten for the next 2 years, like on Disney Plus. But like, what did Lucasfilm have? What are they cooking up? Do they revisit the well of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan to fill it? But even then, if they did, it'd be like a rush job. But like 2026, they don't have as much pressure because they're supposedly putting out 2 Star Wars movies. They could be like, well, when there's no live action Star Wars like series on Disney Plus because we have 2 live action Star Wars movies, and they will obviously come to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But like next year,
that is the movies are additionally Disney Plus content, basically.
Yeah, they treat it that way.
Yeah.
They make it a big deal when a movie's launching on there. And obviously we know that making less content for Disney Plus in general, not just Star Wars, but as a whole, they're making less.
Yeah.
Maybe next year is the year of animated shows for Star Wars. Like maybe that's how they try and plug the gaps. But like maybe a Visions 3, which obviously Visions doesn't do that well, but like it's still Star Wars content. Hardcore Star Wars fans will tune in. And maybe they have other new animated shows, So there could be ways to do it, but I hope Acolyte is good. It does succeed if it is good. And it continues to be something we get for multiple seasons. Obviously, we know that they made a series viable. They had plans for more than one, but I think they're in a position, like as a company, as Disney, not just Lucasfilm, of we're not going to invest into something that isn't successful. So if this comes out and does worse than, like most of the Star Wars shows, like maybe it'll beat Andor because it just has lightsabers. And people tune in for lightsabers, but like EA won't make a game unless it's got a lightsaber in it. So maybe that'll keep it afloat. But like Ahsoka had middling numbers, right? Like viewership was below Boba Fett and Mando and Obi-Wan, but above Andor. Like, will this get more or less than Ahsoka? I would assume less, just based off of like that's connected to the Mando universe. She was introduced in The Mandalorian for like casual fans. Not everybody's watched the Clone Wars, obviously. And then they bring it back, Hayden Christensen. They stop promoting it with Hayden in it. After he shows up, the show gets a boost of viewership. I don't know. Like, it's hard to determine how successful the Acolyte would be, but you'd assume it'd be a little worse off than Ahsoka, right? Like, look at Andor had critical acclaim, and it didn't help it.
Yeah, that's that. pitting it against Ahsoka, something I hadn't really considered, because and it's like the Ahsoka storyline itself, like if you don't know who she is, they didn't really do a good job on why you care about that story. It wasn't really like very clear to the audience. Like it was the whole thing I felt like was predicated upon it's Ahsoka, you guys. It's fucking Ahsoka.
No,
like
of course,
and
but like,
and no, I'm saying, and most people don't know who that is. They now is she's as famous as she's ever gonna probably be until she's in a movie, right? But it's like that's kind of where the general audience was at. So on this one, they need to find a way of saying, here's why you care about the story. And that first trailer that we did have, though, I don't know if it functioned, the one that we got from Celebration, I don't know if it functionally does that. It tells you what it is, but I don't know if it really has like a, and here's why you care about the premise of the show. And it's a difficult one because it's all implications. There's so many implications of the show.
It's about the implications.
About the implications, Charlie.
Yeah. But that's the thing. We went through all the numbers. We did shows, going through it all. Like I was doing it every week and all the math, whatever the fuck was going on.
Crunching numbers, drawing yarn to chalkboards and shit. Yeah,
doing the stonks, you know. But like you know, you look at Ahsoka and it like had a bigger number at the start, drops, and then only picks up when Hayden comes back, right?
Yeah,
like when Hayden shows up, and then when you went on TikTok, YouTube, wherever they were advertising Ahsoka post Anakin, like in episode 5 or whatever it was, like they were marketing it heavy with him, like that he's in it and showing those scenes, and that's what like gained viewership. So like with the Acolyte, like I said, it could have critical acclaim like Andor did. Nobody tuned in. Like we all three of us should love Andor. It's our favorite like live action style series.
Yeah,
but
easily.
But not enough people tuned in and watched it. Like that's why we're only getting one more season. You know, they had plans for 5, took it down to 3, and once Andor started airing, they took it down to 2. Like if the Acolyte comes out and this doesn't do well, like they might not commit any more time or money to it.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if it's not good, then fair enough. Like if it's a shit series,
if nobody cares, don't make it.
Like if it's not good, like we're just assuming it's going to be good, right? We're just, you know, and of course even if it is absolute shit, which I doubt it will be, even if it is, it'll be people telling you it's good. But if it doesn't get the critical acclaim that Andor did, and if it doesn't get the viewership of something like even Ahsoka, then would you, if you're Disney, would you commit any more time to it? Probably not in the state that they're in.
Yeah, my take is honestly Disney Plus should just off itself and stop being a thing. I just don't see it. I just don't see it how it exists today. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think the experiment has failed. And it doesn't make a lot of sense, I think, to go spend $200 million or $135 million, whatever, on a season of these shows most of the times, especially when we're going to see that they're going to probably be making the Mando film for somewhere in that ballpark, and it will make money. It will make them, you know, it'll be profitable.
And that's obviously
so yeah, I don't
they want.
Yeah, if I were them, obviously I think they're too far in. I don't think they'll ever back out of Disney Plus. I don't think they really can without it seeming like a failure of leadership and it becoming like, you know, the apocalypse at Disney. But that is realistically, if they were just making these shows for other networks, if they were making the Acolyte for HBO or whatever, you know what I'm saying, like whatever the thing happened to be for Netflix or something, it would probably work out better for them, I think, not having the overhead cost and all that stuff, and I think it'd be less risky, and then they would make the money back on the sales of the DVDs and shit like that, which at least they're now back to doing. So that's
what's interesting on like the Acolyte poster is just that it says Disney Plus on it. Because if you go back to like when Echo started putting out posters, it said Disney Plus and Hulu on the posters. And my like theory on this was always going to be that they do both, because obviously they're merging into like one service.
Yeah.
So, and Acolyte seems to be skewing a bit more mature than obviously Mando and Ahsoka and whatever. It's more Andor territory.
Right.
And and we always said that Andor would benefit from going on Hulu with like sitting alongside the FX shows and something with a bit more prestige instead of sitting alongside Mickey's fucking Playhouse or whatever it's called.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of think that like not for an Acolyte onto Hulu is weird. Is a weird choice. Because I even think they put the Percy Jackson series on there. I think so. I hope when we see a trailer tomorrow, it does say Hulu and Disney Plus because they need as many eyes on this to make it a success as they can. As they can.
Right.
Like I don't know if they do it over there, but like when the first season of Halo was coming out, they aired it on like TV here, and they were like, you can watch the first episode on TV, and then when it ended, it was like you can sign up to Paramount Plus and watch the rest of it. I think for the Acolyte, they should do something like that, like put it on FX or something, and say, you can watch the rest on Hulu or Disney Plus.
Well, that's I mean,
you need to get as many
like,
eyes on it.
Yeah, it all seems like they want to be able to have like, I think, clean accounting. It was all because of the Disney Plus thing. It was all because of like, and it's like they should just release the shit everywhere on all of their platforms, because at the end of the day, the exposure to Star Wars brings in so much more money through merch and other things and future making new fans and stuff like that. They should be trying to get people in any way they can all the time. So it is kind of silly, I think, on that front to behave that way. But we might have this might be the start of in 5 years we might be going to the theater to see an Acolyte movie. This could be the start of something like that. If this, when I say the Acolyte movie, I mean a High Republic movie. And that's how I always heard this whole thing was kicking off. Like initially this was all about getting a Yoda movie made, and then it ends up going into becoming something else because of, Lucasfilm issues that they always have. But so anyways, though, could be the start of something cool. Tomorrow, we'll come on live. If you're available, Bespin, you're of course invited as always, and we'll like break down the trailer, dig into it and go through it frame by frame, like little weirdos with no lives.
Yeah, it's gonna be real fun. Can't wait.
Rob, if you don't have to come if you don't want to come, Rob.
No,
if you don't like it, you don't have to come and.
This is gonna be wonderful.
It's going to be wonderful.
Rob, I think Rob is just doing this so he could do like this comeback kid thing where he's off tomorrow. He's like, oh my god, it's fucking great, you guys. And then he gets to do the reversal again when it comes out and goes, oh, actually, it wasn't nuanced. It was shit.
You got my game figured out. Yeah. That's it. Comeback kid.
Comeback kid. That's what they call you.
Yeah, Stingray.
Come back, kid. All right. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll break it down and cover it and dig into it and stuff like that.
Star Wars is dead.
Oh, Meg.
What?
Oh, Meg.
I have to figure out if he's doing an Astrid voice or what's called a Meg voice.
He said Star Wars was dead, so it was a Meg voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if
I
it was
Omega
like,
was gonna be like the future of Star Wars.
She is.
Okay.
She's the Acolyte. All right, everybody. Thank you for the super chats today, for being channel members. Thank you to Tans for being a channel member, Patrick Boyle for 2 years of being a channel member. Oh, and there's one I missed before we go. I'm sorry about that. Julian reacts. So the village getting attacked and taking two girls' story isn't true. Is it true? I don't know. No, no, it is. Julian reacts as asking the question. Yeah, I mean, it's anybody could answer. I mean, we don't really know is what it comes down to. And that Ahsoka dude released that stuff like a long time ago, and it was presented as if it was the whole show. And I'm of the opinion, based off of where we're at now, that if that information does pan out to be correct, it's probably like a scene.
Yeah.
Like one of the early.
But there's a lot like that happened that came around that, like, which has a lot of question marks around it.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't as many question marks around it, it's something we'd like refer to more often. But like I don't know. Like
It hasn't really been, the information in all of this time hasn't been validated in any way yet.
There's also some stuff that happened afterwards, which is like question stuff, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All we know
and
is,
if it pans out to be correct, though, I'll be like,
yeah.
Ahsoka's did it. Ahsoka said it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure.
We eating good tonight.
We eating good
Remember
tonight.
how like Filoni writing everything was going to unite the fans and usher in the second coming of George Lucas? Did that work out?
Why are you mad at Filoni today? What did he do to you?
He wouldn't come on the show. I tried.
Why do you want to fight? Do you want to fight Filoni?
He's determined to put Darth Tickles
Rob,
in the next
he
movie.
did.
I tried to stop him. Like, he won't do it.
That's why he didn't make this one. They're like,
He's
no.
the second coming of Lucas. I can't.
After he made that giant foot for Ahsoka, they're like, you're weird. No.
To be fair, Quentin loved it.
Quentin did love it. That guy from Nickelodeon also loved it. He said it was the best Star Wars since Star Wars.
What, Moose?
No, Dan Schneider.
Oh, Dan Schneider.
Yeah, the foot fetish
Moose
guy.
was in the feet. All right. Yeah.
It's
you didn't know
I gotta
he
say
was
it. That the guy from Head of the Class ended up like creeping out the whole Nickelodeon generation. Didn't see that one coming. Never saw that one coming. But anyways,
they literally turned the Nickelodeon logo into a foot. Yeah.
Hey, good job, Snyder. All right.
Snyder.com.
the Nick Snyder. All right, we'll so we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks everybody. Leave a comment if there's anything that you want to talk about tomorrow. And if it's good, I'll we'll use it for the show tomorrow. Because and tomorrow make sure to be ready for YouTube, not to tell you that we're going live, but we're going to go live when the trailer hits. Like when the trailer comes out, that's when we're going to go. So don't sometimes if I feel like if I don't schedule a show 8 hours in advance, it doesn't tell you guys. If I do it like 2 hours before, it just doesn't tell anybody.
He doesn't even tell us in advance, folks. I find out when I log into YouTube. There's just a show scheduled. Guess we're doing a show. I log in, Jason ain't even there. It's like 10 minutes to go.
Yeah. No, there wasn't going to be a show today. I dropped the kids off at school and he texted me and I was like, I don't think I'm doing anything today. I don't feel that good. And then he's like, Acolyte trailer. I'm like, what? Is it out? What do you mean? So
I
here we are
tomorrow.
Or trailer tomorrow, whatever. Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was like you telling me an inside thing, if it was an announcement. I was like, what? That's why I put a question mark. But once again, I was coming home from dropping the kids off at school. So I'm like,
I'm only now looking at my phone. Because that's why I've sounded like shit because I'm using AirPods. Have you got a new hat?
You sound better now. You should.
A different hat on today.
Yeah,
a different hat on today.
Yeah.
New
I
hat
can now
today.
see Rob's beautiful face.
Yeah, look how pretty that little.
He's the handsome one.
He's pretty. Yeah. He's the Paul of this band.
Do you think it's just because he's the one with like the most hair left that he's the pretty one?
Definitely.
This is the most hair left. That's a bad place to be.
Hey, you're way more Ed Grimley than you are George Costanza. So
no, it's just this is cutting it off. But I had more hair in the army. Like, this is ridiculous. But
sure. Probably more hair in the shower drain there too. Gross. All right. Anyways, we gotta go. We have to do it. We have to say this is the end. This is the end of the show.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Bespin. Support Bespin on coffee.
Can't wait till tomorrow. It's gonna be the best.
See you tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Don't let Rob being a buzzkill ruin your time.
Ooh.
Please. I'm
trailer
excited.
rises. Terry, the trailer
it rises. It rises.
Darkness rises and light to meet it.